There's been a lot of good ones so far. These last two sets we saw with Greeded and Oog have been phenomenal. Game 5, both sets, in the originally Fulzify set, stopping our verse 3-0, and the Fausti Milan set, keeping it close every single game with a lot of back and forth, a lot of comebacks. But here, I think we are finally loading into this set right now with Camila and Lust versus Poro and Shirro. I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see this team play, because I know Camila and Lust are very good, but I haven't really seen them play together. And I want to see just, like, one, how obnoxious this is going to be to deal with, and two, how they deal with the other team's counterplay to it.
Absolutely. Again, it's going to be a lot of planning. I think a lot of the mental pressure is going to be on Lust and Camila, because Shirro and Poro were top seeded as well, and they were pretty strong coming into this. But I feel like with that warm-up match coming in back in top 8, that's going to provide this motion for Lust and Camila to take the set in their favor. As we're going to go ahead and start with game 1, and initial damage immediately on Shirro, as Poro is not actually going to play off the rage. It's actually going to get into the mix fairly quickly as well. Not taking, oh, there it is, down on the edge, able to build up that rage.
Oh, he trades that, actually. I can't believe both players died there. Just the trade on both sides. Shirro running out of resources, getting taken off the top, but Poro immediately avenging him with the rage move, killing at 20. Just, it's going to be a lot of this, I think, throughout this set. I mean, I'm surprised at how aggressive this Rick is playing. I thought it would be a lot more slower, methodical zoning center, but he is kind of just trying to get up in their faces with these jabs.
He really is, but that's also leaving Camila out alone trying to face off against Wonder Woman, and that's going to provide Shirro a chance to go for a knockout. It's just edge guarding. It's also working on Lust at the same time, as Camilla's down below trying to build back up. Poro's going to get the up tilt and knock out Lust, and it's going to put it 2-1 in their favor.
We're seeing a really high success rate with these rage moves from Poro so far. He misses one there, but he's already secured 2 kills in the first minute of this game, one of which only at 20%. This is the kind of value you need if you're fighting against this kind of team who's just going to try to nickel and dime you to death over time. If you're on Less and Camilla's side, this is hard, right? Because you're a team who wants to, like, build a lead slowly over time. But if you get hit by one of those big burst options and you lose that lead, how are you going to make the comeback, you know? Your whole thing is you're just like, oh, you're slowly doing damage. They finally get a reversal right there with a hit into the portal, confirming into a Sayer onto Wonder Woman. But Poro's going to have a free rage move charge over on the right side of the stage. He's going to try to make something happen with it. Tries to read them going high, but they both go low. I mean, but as long as they're both off stage here, he's not really threatened at all. He's just going to be able to pull a sandwich for free. Gets the kill onto Camila right now. Lust struggling to make it back on stage. 74%. Shirro waiting out the dodges. Hits him with another neutral attack to send him off on the left. Does he get the kill here? He doesn't. He manages to make it back, but the sandwich forces him off. He's not been able to touch the stage one time. Finally returns to center. Gets a little bit of a laser out to protect himself. Gets the charge up special off of the portal setup, but they need this damage onto Shirro if they want to win this. Big polymorph coming out. That is a very large van. He is going to die. It is going to kill Poro. Okay, now you need to find this kill onto Shirro. How are you going to do it? Shaggy coming in with these up specials, crushing stuff. Lust low on dodge meter, has no way of avoiding the Shaggy dare over in the corner. And I mean, it was just the pressure sequences from Shirro and Poro. They just never really let them return to a zone and set up. It felt like one of them was always off stage, struggling to make it back.
It really did. I'm really impressed by the bounce back from Shirro, especially able to stall for time and then allowing Poro to get that down air on the edge. But Camila, with the well-timed mystery van, able to pick up Poro, pack him up, set him off on another adventure, onto another mystery. Sadly, wasn't really enough. I was kind of hoping that in that time, Lust would be able to build up that damage on Shirro and they would be able to get the knockout. But overall, fantastic effort from Shirro and Poro to take game 1, but a lot closer than I really anticipated.
I love the game start that Lust started that game with last time. He started the game with IAD Meeseeks. For those who don't know, Meeseeks in the air, he spawns the Meeseeks above his head. It is a super disjointed, super fast hitbox. It's very, very active. It's a good way to throw people off guard because people don't expect Rick to have that kind of momentum-based burst option, and it covers basically the perfect amount of distance for a round start. I'm curious as to if he's going to start with it again this time, or if he's going to try to start this game a little bit slower, maybe set up a bit. But if he does do that, you always run the risk of Poro running backwards, pulling a sandwich, charging rage off stage, as you see right now.
I was going to say, as you call it, immediately happens. Poro now building up rage as Shirro's going to get punched around on a one-ball combo. But sadly, not going to be enough as Poro able to push off Rick off to the side, back to the center. We have Camila taking over. Poro trying to build space. They're hopefully going to be able to use those portals to get a little bit of a swift mix-up, but not able to do so past Shirro.
It's a pretty good start to the game so far for Lust and Camila. While Poro went for that initial rage, they got 100 damage onto Shirro, but right now they're taking a lot of damage in return. Wonder Woman, that's the strength of her against these double zoner comps. Whenever she blocks projectiles, she builds that little meter below herself. When that meter is built, her down tilt will kill you. It is a very, very strong move, does a lot of damage, armored. And I mean, they take the first stock onto Camila, and Poro is basically taking no damage back. And he gets a bit of a stack of, and he gets some stacks of weaken onto Camila to start the second stock.
Yeah, Camila had 3 stacks of weaken, has to step back. Lust currently about to get knocked out by Shirro, able to get that side air. Takes out Shirro, forces it back to a 2-1 in favor of Poro and Shirro. Still playing to the advantage, trying to use that portal to slow down the sandwiches, but it's not going to be enough. And looks like Shirro's going to try and get a knockout on Lust, who's caught on the wall with weakened and targeted as well.
Only double polymorph coming out for the red team right now. Can they make anything happen about it? We have Shirro playing the wall in center stage with these side specials to block all of these projectiles. Dash attacks under the Rick laser, gets under Camila. You have to be careful of Shaggy Sandwich, throws it down, kills one of them with it. Camila stuck in the blast zone, lower resources, 1 dodge to make it back right now. Drifts too far to the side, tries to avoid the Wonder Woman Sarah, ends up going off the blast zone. And Shirro and Poro up 2-0, playing this comp very well. You just have Shirro play that anti-projectile front line. You have Poro sit in the back, throw sandwiches, charge rage. No need to necessarily force anything into the double zoners. Just play your own game.
Honestly, yeah, just Shirro and Poro finding this moment and just breaking apart any plan that Lust and Camila have been throwing at them. And it really feels like they want to find their way back to the top of the bracket. Able to do so. We're currently 1 away from a 3-0 sweep in their favor. Velma and Rick, what do you think should be the game plan going in? Because obviously the initial start has not been going in their favor. Poro and Shirro just so quick to catch them off guard, especially that initial sandwich from Poro.
I think they need to keep pressure up on Poro somehow, some way, whether it's Rick running him down or Velma trying to scrap with him. I think that's what needs to happen. As soon as you focus down Shirro, he just slows the game down. He starts throwing out armored moves, playing the dodge game, just generally being a nuisance with Wonder Woman's very large active aerials. And as soon as you start trying to hunt down Shirro, that just lets Poro do what he wants. He sets up in the back line, starts lobbing grenades across the stage, sets up the rage that can just kill you at any percent. And it's just, you just have to keep the pressure on Poro. And it's hard because scrapping as Velma and Rick is not what you want to do. You want to slow the game down. You want to have them run to you, play your style. But if you try to play like that versus Shaggy and Wonder Woman, you're just putting yourself into a disadvantageous situation. That being said, I'm curious to see how they'll handle it. Maybe you see crushing stuff instead of going aggro. Maybe you see him throw out some more full stage portals and then just send stuff through the portals across the stage. Maybe that's his way of causing pressure on the Shaggy. There are versatile ways of handling things in this kit. Rick's got enough stuff in his kit. At the end of the day, Velma probably can't run down Shaggy. She can try, but it probably won't really work in her favor, so it's probably got to be on Lust here.
I was going to say, it sounds like it should be Lust's responsibility, and I don't know if they're going to have enough time to effectively use a full stage portal, though.
The problem is it's just going to be very difficult, because as soon as you do decide to make that decision of, hey, we need to run them down, then you have to fight Shaggy Wonder Woman in close quarters, which is not a situation you're necessarily advantageous in, but I just don't think you can let Shaggy set up. I think if you let Shaggy set up like this against you, you are just asking to lose the game over time. He will just provide more value than you in the back line.
Mm-hmm. All that we are on match point for Shirro and Poro, as Lust and Camila are trying to find some kind of life going into Game 3. And ideally, we're going to be able to see a chance for them going into Game 3. Hopefully, we're going to have that rush down from Lust, able to go on, take down Shirro for half a second, and it's focusing in on Poro, but Poro's going to be able to break away in that moment. Down air on Lust, and Lust has to find some space, tries to use the Ray to shrink them down to size, but will not be able to do so. Takes advantage and gets a little bit bigger with the meat suits.
They just won. Poro and Shirro just won neutral so much at the start that they just beat up Lust to the point where he can't really engage anymore without risking dying. I mean, this opening from Shirro is just absolutely massive. Down airs the Velma down. The Sair meant for the Velma catches the Rick trying to come in and punish. He just kills both of them. And then the Sair the wrong way. Oh, dude, this is looking so rough.
It's going to be near impossible for them. It's not looking good for Lust and Camila as they're trying once again to find that space. They're going to focus on Shirro, trying to find space away from Poro, but they're now once again below the stage, trying to break up, get onto the arena, and hopefully able to at least push Shirro away. But Poro's going to rush down on Lust, and now in a 1v1 fight, Poro's going to find his space to get that rage art, and I truly think it's just going to get food to Shirro and Poro again.
Oh, this is the full stage kick, manages to catch onto the Rick. He's able to punish it with a Sair to send Shaggy off stage, but that's where he wants to be. That's a free rage move over in the corner. He kicks back the van. One more hit on the van. Yeah, that'll be the end of it. And they don't even get the kill with one of their main resources of doing it. This is looking over. Full charge down tilt from the side of Shirro. Gets the kill onto Lust. Camila is the stock tank here, already at 60%, and they need to get this kill on Poro now. And it's just not happening.
It's not happening at all as they're still on the very edge. Shirro's in between the mix for Lust and Camila, but that's not going to help out. Poro is the one that they need to knock out. Shirro is building up. They're one away. It's not going to work as Camila is on burnout, won't be able to dodge effectively. Poro gets knocked down to the ground. Shirro is able to chase after Lust. That's going to provide an opening as Poro will get the knockout on Camila at the very end.
Dash attack forced him into the blast zone. Spide special catching the movement in. I mean, that's like pretty clean and dominant 3-0 for Poro and Shirro, despite Camila and Lust having defeated the same comp right before this, clearly showing they just know how to play it way better. And they're going to secure their spot into top 4 of this tournament.